Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Matt Reiser. A four-game week last week, starting off with the midweek where Pittman grabs his first win. Solid start for him last week. Starting to get maybe, and you talked about it, a little shaky to start, but the last few weeks when he's gotten opportunities, he's put together some solid innings.
Yeah, just finding consistency for him. I thought he was really good against Central Arkansas. The next week, not so good. Last week, pretty decent for us. And to be honest with you, we needed that one last week. Going into these final couple weeks of the conference play, right? You want to keep your so-called horses, the guys been so consistent for you all year long. Want to keep them intact, as fresh as possible. So you're going to need a long start there in the midweek, and we got that out of Pittman. So very fortunate for that, to be able to do what we did. We got the run rule there in place as well. So only used three arms that have not really pitched for us a ton, right? At least in pivotal situations in the weekend. But again, looking for that one guy that maybe makes a run in that tournament, right? Mm-hmm. When you make a run in any kind of conference tournament or in the season, you've got to have a guy that steps up offensively and a guy that steps off out of the bullpen. And so hopefully that's what these guys are doing. They understand the audition and what they're trying to do and continue to improve and get better. And no better time than now to be your best. So I thought it was a really good, important start there for Connor Pittman.
And on a Tuesday night like that, look, the guys know what's at stake at this time of year. Any team's looking toward their weekends. Yep. But what you want out of midweek game is a cleanly played game. You got the run rule, and off the top of my head, I don't think there were any errors. Just played the game cleanly, yep. Got it in, got out.
Yeah, and especially with the elements, right? I mean, I think that's the other thing that you look at that. You maybe overlook the midweek game because you're talking about the weekend, right, and how important every game is for the weekend and this conference play here going down the stretch. But and then the weather comes in,
yeah.
And so it's really easy to get lax and kind of make excuses or reasons why you can't. And offensively, we wanted a little bit better performance. We had some situations, but at the end of the day, we got the job done like we needed to, and therefore also got out of there early with the run rule to put us in a good place for the weekend and ready to go take it on Tulane.
Tulane comes in, and the first two games just pitching dominated on both sides.
Yeah, it was funny. We talked pre-show, right, about the numbers, and you look at those numbers of what we did pitching-wise for the week. I think we pitched like a 2.3 something for the week. The opponent ERA was 7 something for the week, right? But we just kind of did the offense in two bunches as opposed to, we had the one game. Again, when you're on a Friday night, more than likely you're going to probably play a tight game, a lower scored game. Got to do some things right to make sure you're on the right end of that thing. And honestly, there on Friday, we had a couple moments we thought we could have cashed in, and we didn't. We ended up on the wrong end of it. Saturday, a little bit more of the bad luck, right? In a 1-0 game, bases loaded, nobody out. We got the situation created for us. We line up into a double play, and that's sometimes how it bounces. So, for us, we need to keep it 1-0 there in the ninth. I mean, a few miscues there, had 3-0 where ninth inning got a few guys on, and so if it's still a 1-0 game, I feel honestly that I believe we come out with a 2-1 win and a walk-off, right? So just understanding, hey man, again, a good job of just rebounding. Friday, Saturday, not what we wanted from an offensive standpoint, production. To come out Sunday, do what we did. Shane Cox, who was nominated for Hitter of the Week, I think he was, hit over 700 for the week, probably the best in the conference, to be honest with you, from a batting average standpoint. But, hey, man, he's out. He's got the injury, and so we need some guys to step up. I thought we did a really good job of that there on Sunday. What Jack Pitts did, what Daniel Perez did, right, the backside double there to clear the base in the first. And we stayed persistent in that pursuit. We scored 8 in the first two, but you look up and we scored 15 throughout the entire game against a good Tulane offense. So put ourselves in a good position. If you're only going to win one on the weekend, I guess the one to win is on Sunday and do it in the fashion we did to keep it hopefully momentum going into the final week of the season.
Well, that's the thing in a conference like the American. And you take a look at any good baseball conference. It's whether you win or lose a series, it's still critical to at least salvage a game. You have an off weekend because those wins stack up at the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and that's why we're in the position we're in, right? We've talked about it. We've had certain situations, right, where we've had opportunity to be swept, and then we've had other situations where we had a chance to sweep. And in those, we've cashed in on one of them. We swept the UAB series, right? Unfortunately, we've ended up on the wrong end of 3 of those series where we got swept and, didn't one for salvage game like we were this past weekend. So here we are sitting, fighting for this last spot, tied for 8th, right, to get in the conference tournament because of that reason. So the fact that we were able to take that there on Sunday But it's in a better position. I think at the end of the day, I haven't done all the numbers. I'll let Brock do all that part of it, right, and his mathematician stuff. But I think at the end of the day, the way the weekend played out, whether we won 2 out of 3 or lost 2 out of 3, the fact that we took a game, right, going into Wichita and probably the one of the two of us being the last spot there, it's real simple. We control our own destiny. Mm-hmm. So if you go and you win, great, you're in. If you go and you lose the series, then also you're out. So I think a pretty simple math aspect of it. The fact that we got that game yesterday, we control our own destiny.
You are going to start off with a late afternoon game, a 4:05 game against UCA on Tuesday, and that'll be an opportunity for some guys that haven't got a lot of innings maybe to throw, because let's just be blunt and honest. You got a short week. You start that series on Thursday. Your weekend guys have to be weekend guys this week.
Well, and understand the importance of tomorrow's game too, right?
Yeah.
This is originally scheduled game for early in the year. Mother Nature got us. We had to push it back. This is the only date we both had. But it creates a great opportunity, because the way this thing's going to work out, conference tournament starts next Tuesday, right? And so whoever you're starting tomorrow has a real chance, or whoever gives you a lot of distance tomorrow, right, has a real chance to start that game there next Tuesday, and then game one in Clearwater. So I think it's going to be hard to bounce back. You started from Thursday to Tuesday. Thursday to Wednesday, no problem. 6-day week, a 5-day week is going to be extremely difficult, especially with this weekend having so much magnitude to it of being in or out. So I'll see, hey man, whatever O'Garner's got to go, right? Whatever Case got to go. You're going to exhaust all options. You leave it out there in the field, this weekend. So if you do, obviously win the 2 out of 3, this midweek game and who's pitching this midweek game has real implications on what gets us started off in the tournament next week if we make it.
Speaking of this weekend, obviously it's really no more scenarios. It's whoever wins that series is probably going to get that final spot to Clearwater. But then when you look ahead just a little bit, I know you're focused on the game, as all the teams except for San Antonio have seeding to play for. So you could see some crazy scenarios next Tuesday, because everyone's got to go, front line and go for series win this weekend.
Yeah, and even UTSA in the position that they're in, right? Yeah. They're still batting for that large bid, and so God forbid that they lose a game against Rice, because they know the implications of the RPI. We were in that position a lot at Southeastern, to be honest with you, where that last weekend we'd already clinched the conference title, right, regular season title. But hey, man, because of the way the RPI is and being a mid-major, right, you can't take any weekends off. So I think that plays well for us, bodes well for us. The fact that each team, like you said, in the conference, even UTSA, who's already clinched the league regular season title, has still got to play for some type of fashion, way, or form, right? Nobody's been mathematically eliminated, so even UAB, right, still having to do the same thing. Technically, they're still into this thing. So I think that going to last weekend, pitching in a good position where everybody's throwing their guy, right? Everybody's going to push forward with what they got to do there on Thursday night. Again, as the weekend goes along, I'm sure some guys will clinch some spots, and maybe game 3 you can do what you need to get ready for the tournament. But I think in the overall, this is what you want. You want 10 teams playing for something there at the last weekend, whether it's at the top, whether it's in the bottom to get in, seeding, whatever it may be. That's in a good position. So, again, go take care of business. The focus is this weekend. We can't look ahead of ourselves and try to look what next week holds. I mean, we got to the point now, hey, man, it's win or go home, right? And so we talked about that. Every team in the country is going to do the same thing. Even the national champion is going to have to do that, right? Where, hey, man, if they win, great, they're national champion. If they're not, they're going home, right? One way or the other. Just either going home with a trophy or not going home with a trophy. So at this point, we've had to kind of play this way the last couple of weeks, right? Kind of left for dead last week against UAB, and lo and behold, we come up with a sweep, right? Very similar to this weekend. Hey, man, all the teams we're biting with, kind of the same spot. We had to win yesterday. We win yesterday. So this team with the back against the wall has played well, and we'll look forward to doing that again this weekend.
Final thing, what do you see out of the Shockers this year?
Yeah, a lot of returners. A team that also played well last year and got in the tournament, got in the conference tournament championship game, and a lot of those guys are back. They lost a couple pieces, but for the most part, a lot of those guys are back, and so it's an experienced club that knows how to do it. Just has not done it to the fashion or form that they're used to. But again, many guys are very, very capable of that. They lost their Friday night guy to TCU, but they get their other guy back who lost the year before from Kansas. He comes back on Friday night for them. So, again, they're losing some pieces. They've got some pieces back. But overall, I mean, looking at their home ballpark, I obviously know what they're playing for. A lot of veterans. Should be a fun weekend, in all honesty. A weekend, I think it's going to be a lot of competition. It's going to be, everybody knows what's at stake. And I think it'll be good, clean baseball, which is what everybody, strives for.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is head coach Matt Reiser. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.